Have you ever sat for a movie with gleeful anticipation, hoping and praying for a different experience, or in some cases, the exact experience the actor, director, or producer promised to you in the film's promotional run? And then what you witness is absolute heartbreak. I have had my fair share of these experiences. What's been the consistent theme of any of the film industry discourse lately is that the film industry is bleeding. Nobody really knows what is working, there is faith being put on mediocre talent, the returns with streaming platforms is dwindling, and shows are getting cancelled left, right, and center. So much so that the writers and showrunners have not seen such a bad state of the film industry in years. I want to speak about instances where films genuinely come across as simple tax write-offs or a means to channel somebody's shady monetary dealings. I'm only kidding. Execution so poor you start wondering why these films from a concept level were even approved. Please do let me know in the comments below if some movies do come in the same category for you, or what you were promised and the outcome you saw felt like you had been duped or scammed. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with 10 Bollywood movies that scam the audience. Welcome back. Imagine having the IP of one of the funniest Hindi movies of the 2000s and formulating to create a sequel and not cast the main lead in it. Usually the patriarchal systems of Hindi cinema only replace the female lead when a movie becomes popular and goes on to become a franchise. The fate of many actors like Nusrat Bharucha in Dream Girl and Kajal Agarwal in Singham. However, with Welcome Back we saw a full rehaul of the cast other than Anil Kapoor, Nana Patekar and Paresh Rawal. 2 out of these 3 actors have not been cast for the third part of this franchise, Welcome to the Jungle. If you ask me personally, this franchise and whatever comes after the iconic 2007 film just pales in comparison or is an absolute show. I remember stepping in for Welcome Back in 2015, assuming that at least Anees Bazmi will have the capability to make us laugh. But the film was diabolical from a quality perspective. It actually seemed like the makers of Welcome Back genuinely did not have a budget. I mean, they shot extensively in Dubai, but why do the frames look like this? What was at one point of time a mansion in the first film turned into the most tackiest green screen background. Something that even YouTube skits and reels can do a better job in recreating a palatial house. John Abraham as Ajju plays a short-tempered wannabe Kabir Singh. Dimple Kapadia and Ankita Srivastav play the most crass con artists, and John and Shruti have the chemistry as exciting as the new season of White Lotus. You know, when Nasruddin Shah is playing a character called Wanted Bhai, then the legend has only signed a project for the paycheck. A huge downgrade in quality, and I believe that Welcome to the Jungle is going to be more of the same, if not worse, with the fish market volume of actors that they have roped in. Rashtra Kavach Om. Movies that are by design aim to showcase a side of an actor that many have not seen or to emulate an already successful model are bound to fail. Aditya Roy Kapoor as an action hero has shown his mettle in a movie like Malang, in my opinion possibly looking as one of the best leading actors physically, possibly second to what Hrithik Roshan was looking like in Bang Bang. However, producer Ahmed Khan wanted to really invest in Aditya and portray him to be this mass hero with Om, with especially Rocky Bhai being the flavor of the season. However, the movie was abysmal in every shape and form. Legends like Prakash Raj shout in every scene, frustratingly saying damn it, and Ashutosh Rana mostly sleepwalking through his role. You've got everything from a Gujju doctor, a PJ Maroing hacker, and a constantly worried Sanjana Sanghi who is a part-time raw agent. I didn't even know someone could do this part-time. An actor for no fault of his is handed over the most cringe lines in this movie, saying things like what the shuck and what the luck, or when an American woman says Om, he replies Jadoo. I think the idea of mass action itself was so skewed in the heads of the creators that they thought it was a good idea to make Aditya dance on Kala Shakala after a raw mission is successful. A train wreck in its truest sense. Sadak 2. When Mahesh Bhatt announced that he is going to return on the director's chair after 2 long decades, everyone assumed that it must be a concept that is brewing within him, an idea and execution that will be worth the wait. But the absolute combination of incoherent storytelling and hammy performances we saw was baffling in Sadak 2. A rehashed version of the 90s film, Mahesh Bhatt seemed to be in a time vortex, lacking any kind of evolution in his filmmaking. The connection with the original Sadak is paper thin. The origin stories and possible outcomes and conflicts are narrated and explained before they even happen. The film had the most tone-deaf portrayal of mental health, constantly referencing mental hospital, or if a minor inconvenience happens, one character stating कि वो तुझे सुई लगा देंगे. The attempt to showcase the brainwashing executed by cults is lackluster and caricaturish at best. Alia is probably in her worst acting performance of her career. Shrill and loud, Gulshan Grover plays a character called Haath Kata, and you guessed it right, it, he doesn't have a hand. Alia in one instance says in this movie, Kamal kar diya daddy, and these were my parting sentiments exactly about this film. Bade Miyan, Chote Miyan. Imagine going through the dry career phase that Akshay Kumar was dealing with and then get promised that the man is going to return in his OG action avatar that we all loved to see in the late 90s. The problem that remains consistent, however, is that the producers who ensure that the OG Khiladi will return have always been unreliable. Pooja Entertainment was going all guns blazing with this Akshay and Tiger starrer. They even roped in Prithvi Raj to play the villain, hoping and praying that this will be the mass India appeal they always wanted for their projects. But this story was doomed from the onset. You had dialogues handed over to actors, but Tiger Shroff had more personality than Akshay Kumar. You had a film mostly shot in the UK, but inundated with green screen shots. The purpose of women was laughable at best, especially the case of Alaya F, mostly thirsting over Tiger Shroff. And you ultimately had one of the most exhausting movie experiences. The fact that the producers thought this film will make over 1,000 crores still blows my mind. Deva. I've always equated following Shahid Kapoor and his career to my loyalty towards Arsenal. The quality is always there are moments of glory also dispersed throughout their history, but when it matters the most, when the pressure is on and everyone is hoping that you soar to become one of the greats, both Shahid and Arsenal have a way to bottle it. Shahid Kapoor got the commercial attention and praise as a lead that he never got with Kabir Singh. In order to keep the momentum going, he signed Jersey that had little takers due to its erratic release date. But when he signed Deva, everyone was hopeful that this may be an original script, and he promised us exactly this throughout the promotions, that this is not Mumbai Police, this is not a remake, and we accept it. But the makers simply lied about the film. Shahid, like every other project, submitted and gave the role his all, but to see a retelling of the original Malayalam film with changes in the climax that actually softened the overall impact was something that broke everyone's heart. The Hindi makers were not even willing to tread the tricky waters of the ultimate reveal like the Prithvi Raj starrer, and what we saw was another case of a poor film with a good Shahid Kapoor performance, truly being scammed in the process. Adipurush. For the upcoming Telugu release Ganapath, the team of the film has said that whoever trolls the film will meet the wrath of Lord Shiva. Now, if that means that they will be handed over copyright strikes, then it's solely based on whatever your call is. Please don't put the blame on Lord Shiva. If YouTube channels get shut down if you can't face the criticism for your own product. Adipurush and its makers tried the same tactics, especially director Om Raut and writer Manoj Muntashir. To hide under the protection of our Hindu gods, the makers tried every trick in their book to equate any form of criticism to actually being anti-Hindu. Adipurush was a sword to the eye from a technical point of view and boasted of dialogues that made it seem like it was any other generic Bollywood film versus an adaptation of a sacred text. I mean, you had Indrajit looking like a tattoo artist from Anjuna, Ravan looking like a 7th grade millennial with spikes, Bali and Sugriev's battle looking like a side quest of Temple Run, and Lord Hanuman with dialogues like Aag tere baap ka, tel tere baap ka, kapde tere baap ka, or jalegi bhi tere baap ki. Om Raut wanted at least one seat in each theatre to be dedicated to Lord Hanuman. I am glad he did not attend any of the screenings. Shamshera. When a director takes up the daunting task of remaking Agnipath and ends up doing such a stellar job, you assume that the craft of the man is absolutely solid, something that producers will eventually back. Shamshera, starring Ranbir Kapoor, Sanjay Dutt and Bani, had a heavy investment, huge scale, and also released at the time where the boycott Bollywood movement was at its peak. However, when a movie is titled Shamshera and Karan Malhotra in interview states that he is blown away by the output, you assume that this is going to be a home run. But what we actually saw was a movie titled Shamshera, not about Shamshera. And what's sad is that if you dwell on it further, it was just a rehashed version of Agnipath, a son vowing for revenge for what happened to his father. The motley crew of bandits were never established. The flashback provided some glimmer of hope and it finished in a flash. Bani Kapoor's role and her intimate relationship with Ranbir Kapoor made you feel nothing, and eventually an exhaustion even creeped in with seeing Sanjay Dutt in an antagonist role, manically laughing throughout the film, making the overall Hindi film spectacle quite mid, despite the efforts that was evident in each frame. Shaandaar. If there is one movie that Shahid Kapoor consistently looks back on with horror, it is the Vikas Behal directed film Shaandaar that genuinely seemed like a fever dream to most who saw it in the theatre. I remember going in for this film because I liked the songs and I loved the pairing of Shahid and Alia. However, the film progressed into literally becoming an acid trip. A destination wedding, a bankrupt family and a seemingly wealthy one, a fitness-obsessed groom who fat shames his to-be wife, two insomniac maniac main characters who cure their insomnia by sleeping with each other, and a matriarch who dies by sneezing. It's one of the most bizarre experiences I've ever had in a theatre, genuinely wanting to know what the actors saw on paper that they said yes to the film. Probably just a trip abroad, because there is actually no silver lining with this film. Baby John. Another case of wanting to present an actor in an avatar like never before, Varun Dhawan joining hands with producer Attlee was considered to be game-changing for him. Varun expressed on how Hindi film producers were not willing to invest a large budget on an action film with him starring in it. Attlee promised to us that what Animal did for Ranbir, Baby John will do for Varun. There were rumors of the film being a remake of Theri, but the makers kept on defending it by saying it is Theri on steroids, ensuring us a unique experience. And what we saw was just a poor and incoherent retelling of the Tamil film, devoid of the natural swagger of Thalapathy Vijay, as the director Khalees did not extract an original style from Varun, but tried to emulate the same mannerisms of Vijay through him. Eventually, even the compelling styling of an antagonist like Jackie Shroff could not save the film, nor could a poor Salman Khan cameo in the climax that was embarrassing to say the least, leading to one of the most anticipated films from Hindi cinema last year to tank miserably. Ganapath. When it was announced that Tiger Shroff is going to star in a post-apocalyptic action film which will be directed by Vikas Behel, one genuinely became curious about the film from a concept point of view. An original sci-fi story that also has Amitabh Bachchan in it? It can't be real, right? There is genuine exploration for something unique? No way. The film was an absolute disaster from a creative standpoint. A villain, John the Englishman, is presented who has the same disability as Kane from the WWF Attitude Era. The attempt by the makers is to generate fear within us as we see this individual in a clown outfit, looking like an extra from the Hunger Games. Tiger Shroff is introduced having slept with 12 women. He exclaims, "Duniya hasino ka mela, kal raat apun bahut khela." Ganpati is utilized in this film to mask their own incompetence as writers, the god merely being used as a symbol than an inherent part of the story's inspiration. The film actually is just an extended My Glam and Magic Moments commercial, making me conclude that Tiger could have shot this film in Bandra in his gym and nothing would change about this film. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below when you felt that you were scammed when you were watching a Bollywood movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.